stay away from this type of person. Here it is, who spends what they want, then they beg for what they need. I'm gonna say that again. They spend what they want, then they beg for what they need. What I mean by that is, when a person gets their paycheck or whatever, they spend everything on their wants. They're going out to eat. They're buying all these shoes. They're taking a lavish vacation. They're going to luxury restaurants. But you receive a call 2 days later, say, hey bro, can I borrow $200 so I could pay my car note, so I could pay my phone bill, so I could pay my light bill, or something like that? Don't loan them that money either. Because that person has the money. They just chose to spend it on something else. They had their priorities mixed up. And to be honest, don't even talk to those kind of people. Don't even associate yourself with those kind of people. In this season, sometimes, in this part of my life, I'm really watching on who I talk to even. Not just my friends, but my associates. Because associates, they can turn to friends. If you talk to them enough, they can turn to friends. But just don't associate yourself with those kind of people. Those people will always do the same thing. And then when you say no, when you can't lend them the money, they will try to make it feel like you're the victim. They will try to make you feel bad. They will try to say, oh man, you fake, bro. I would have done the same thing for you. No, they wouldn't. Because 9 times out of 10, let's say you lend them the money, when you go to ask for it back, when you ask for it back, they're either gonna get mad, or they're either just not gonna have it, or they're gonna make up an excuse to why they can't pay you back, or they're gonna see if they can make payment plans like, oh, I'll pay you $20 here, I'll pay you $50 here, and I'll pay you $10 next week. At that point, you don't even want $200 back, because you're going to have to go through so much to get it. And this is why I say don't lend money to family members or friends. Don't do it, because it always gets messy. What I would do is, if a person really needed it that bad, I would just lend it to them. I'll just give it to them. And I might not give them $200. So I'll be like, here's $50 or something like that. Me personally, I don't really give into what the person needs. I more so give what I can, if I have it, if my responsibilities are taken care of, like my investments, my savings, and my other financial obligations and things of that nature. Another thing too, make sure you treat investing and saving as something you have to do, because essentially you do. And I'll probably talk about that in a later video, in a later episode. But yeah, man, just stay away from those kind of people, because it is bad for you financially, and it's just bad for you in general. You just don't want to have people who just beg, who always just beggars, who always just like to beg people for what they need, but they know good and well they got the money, but they want to spend it on what they want. You gotta spend your money on things that you need to do first, like the utilities, the life expenses, and then the money you have left over, then you buy what you want. But even before that, you would set aside 10 to 20%, even 30%, if you can do that, if you're in a position to do that financially, for savings. But don't lend money to family or friends, or don't even give money to people who always beg. They just posted a story how they need how they went out to eat. They went out to this luxurious restaurant, but you getting a call 2 hours later, say, hey, can I have $100 so I can pay my bill? Say no. Say no. Because they don't know how to take care of responsibilities. Let them figure it out. Don't go saving nobody if that means jeopardizing yourself financially, or even yourself, period. That's why I talk about so much putting yourself first. That's why I think people got to figure it out. If they could dig themselves a hole, obviously they can dig themselves out of it. They can. Don't come to people. Sometimes you gotta stop coming to people rescue financially, and period. You gotta put yourself first financially, because those same people are not gonna tell you to invest. Those same people are not gonna tell you to save. Those same people are not gonna pay your bills. When I started to look at it from that perspective, my life became so much better. Because when I was a little kid, I got burned so many times. It was over a bag of chips, but it's about the principle. I remember when I always thought that they would pay me back, but they never did. And yes, our friendship was burned over $5. I got a lot of stories that I could tell y'all about how people who I thought who was my friend, I lended them the money and they never paid me back, and they said that they was. That's why I am the way I am today. I don't loan anyone money. I don't. If the person needs it that bad, tell them to get a loan from the bank. If they can't do that, and if the bank can't trust them, then neither should you. Because 9 times out of 10, the bank will lend you money if you have a good credit score. But if that person doesn't have a good credit score, that already shows that they can't even take care of their own financial obligations. So it makes you think that they're going to pay you back. They're not. So always say no. Because what happens is it creates this friction between you guys. That's how money fights get started. That's how friendships and relationships end. That's how bridges get burned. So the next time someone asks you for money, if you really feel like you need to give it, if you don't blend it, give it. Because you see, now I'll just give it. I'll just give it without expecting anything back in return. So that way I'm happy, they're happy, and our friendship or our relationship, whatever, with that person or whatever, is still intact. It's still good. Because guys, money should never come between a relationship or a friendship. But in today's society, it's very common. Guys, money is a tool. Nothing more, nothing less. It's a very powerful tool that if we don't know how to manage it, if we don't know how to use it, it will end up ruining our lives in so many ways if we don't know how to manage it. Yes, poor money management skills can ruin your life. But the same thing with money involving friends and family. Two out of five marriages in America end in a divorce because of money fights. That's 40% right there. So you can only imagine that statistic is higher between lending money to family members and friends, and then something happened where that person couldn't pay them back. Then they got into a huge argument or whatever, and now they're no longer friends, and now they no longer have a good relationship with that person, whether it's a family member or a friend. So guys, money is a tool, but stay away from people who don't take care of responsibilities, period. Because that just shows me how you can't even take care of responsibilities. You got your priorities all mixed up. Because if you're going to be around me, I can't be having people around me who do that. Because those same people are going to turn around and ask me for money. And sometimes they even have the guts to get mad at you and make you seem like you're the bad guy because you didn't lend them the money. And when in reality, they had the money, they just chose to mismanage it. You don't have to come to the rescue for nobody. You don't have to help anyone out. And those people, sometimes it can give off narcissist vibes where they feel like the world revolves around them, where they feel like someone is obligated to help them with whatever they need help with. Or sometimes, let's say they ask for $200, but you're only able to give them 50. Sometimes they will still even make you feel bad about yourself even because you didn't give into their needs. Stay away from those kind of people. Stay away from those kind of people who complain anyway, because that is not good for you. You got to put yourself first, especially financially, because nobody is coming to save you. If financial decisions you make will always impact your life.